Have you ever listened to someone speaking a foreign language fluently and thought, I wish I had that kind of talent, I could never do that? Well, I've got some good news for you. You can do it too. Anyone can learn a language pretty fast. And I'm not some positive thinking motivational speaker. Most people who try to learn a language will fail. Not because you're not smart enough or because you're not talented, but because you're not learning the right way. Let's make one thing clear from the outset. Unless you learn the right way, you will never become fluent. And even if you do the right things, you won't get results unless you do them consistently. This method will work, but only if you put in the effort, right? The problem is that you've developed the wrong mindset. And even worse, that you've developed the wrong habits. Because you've been told a bunch of nonsense by so-called experts. Language learning is a marathon. It takes 10 years to learn a language. You need 10,000 hours of comprehensible input before you can speak a language. You can't learn more than 5 new words per day. And of course, all the usual stuff about needing classes, tutors, having to study grammar, etc. Oh, and the classic, some people just aren't good with languages. Like telling you that you shouldn't even try. Don't listen to all this nonsense. All these lies and limiting beliefs told by mediocre people with very limited capabilities and accomplishments. Don't listen to them. They are like crabs in a bucket. They can't do it because they are lazy and mediocre, and they'll tell you you can't do it either because they want you to not even try. But the reality of it is, you don't need talent, you don't need to watch 10,000 hours of videos for beginners, you don't need to move to the country, you don't need immersion, you don't need any of that. And you definitely don't need to spend 30 years learning 1 word a day like some kind of giant gastropod. You don't need any of that. So let's drop all those limited beliefs and let's start thinking big. Start by doing this. From now on, learn 30 new words a day, every day. That's it. Just by setting that daily goal, you'll improve 10 times faster. Now I know. Some people, it's already writing in the comments, that's impossible, unrealistic, bro, 5 words a day is already pushing it. And you know what? Those people never get fluent because what they really do it is looking for a reason not to even try. And I've heard it all. 30 words a day is way too much. 5 words a day is the maximum anyone can learn. Your brain can only hold 7 new things per day, and lots of other arbitrary numbers. Listen. Do you want to learn a language or not? You've studied for exams before, right? How much stuff did you have to learn for every exam you've taken? If you've gone to college, hell, even if you've gone to high school, for every subject, for every exam, you ought to study way more content, a lot more pages of content, than the vocabulary you need to learn to become fluent in a foreign language. Way more. And you did it without even thinking about it. And so did most of the other people who took those exams. So what's the difference? That instead of some buffoon on YouTube telling you that's impossible and that you can't do it, you are teachers and parents, hopefully, telling you not only that you could do it, but that you absolutely had to do it. There's nothing especially difficult about words in a foreign language. And your ability to store those words in your memory is virtually unlimited. Like we say in Spanish, el saber no ocupa lugar. Think about it for a second. A word is nothing. A sentence with that word is nothing. It takes 2 seconds to read. 30 sentences, that's less than 1 minute of reading. 1 minute of listening. In 10 minutes, you can review the whole list of 30 sentences 10 times. And that's already enough to remember most of them. And you don't even need to memorize those words perfectly from day one. You just need to keep reviewing them by repeatedly listening to them over and over again. That's it. Repetition is the real secret here. But not the boring kind where you stare at flashcards until you hate life. No. I'm talking about simple, structured, and fast repetition. Sentences with real context. Audio you can listen to while making coffee in the morning, walking the dog, working out, or pretending to work in the office. This is a system that works with your brain, not against it. Look, here's how it works. It's very simple. Day 1, you learn 30 new words. You read them, you listen to them, you shadow them 20 or 30 times in a row, and that's it. You know them. It's awkward at first, but it doesn't matter. Do it anyway. Say them aloud, repeat them aloud. The next day, you do 30 more. You review the previous 30 by simply listening to the audio file. That's a minute of listening per day. And then you repeat the new sentences by reading, listening, and saying them aloud over and over again until you know them as well. And you keep adding 30 new words every day. And by day 10, you've got over 300 words with example sentences. And by day 30, you've got 900 words with example sentences. And by month 3, you've made massive progress. And here's the best part. The review time never gets unmanageable. Because even if you want to review all 900 sentences every day, that's less than an hour of audio. You can go through the whole sentence list on autopilot while you're living your life. Just listen to it on repeat. You don't need to review thousands of flashcards. You just need earphones and the right habits. That's it. Now let's address the elephant in the room. But what if I forget the words? A lot of people ask me that. Yeah, you'll forget some of the words, and then you will hear them again tomorrow and you'll remember them because you get in spaced repetition through listening. If you listen to the same sentences every day several times, there's no way you're forgetting them. And if for some reason you still don't remember some of them, you can always go back and read the list and review the ones that you didn't recognize when you were listening to it. That's it. Easy. It sticks. And if you add mnemonics, it gets even more powerful. You don't have to use mnemonics, but they're immensely helpful. Mnemonics will help your brain remember everything much faster and easier. And they can also be fun to do. If you associate the words to weird images, you remember them much better. That's why you sometimes forget people's faces, for example, but you remember weird things you saw years ago as well, because they were weird, out of the ordinary. That's how mnemonics work. But even if you don't use mnemonics, even if you learn these sentence lists through sheer repetition, it will still work really well, as long as you stay consistent with it. You read them, you listen to them, and you repeat them aloud, over and over again. Learning massive amounts of vocabulary isn't difficult. What's difficult is talking yourself into actually trying. Most people don't fail at language learning because it's difficult. They fail because they don't even try. They sabotage their own progress by not even trying. They look for advice and then argue with the answer if the answer tells them anything other than it's going to take a really, really long time, but keep watching YouTube videos because there's nothing else you can do. Don't be that guy. Look, I've done this many times. My students have done this many times. Thousands of them. They've learned one or several languages. And this is not theory. This is not some motivational YouTube video. If you want real results, you need to start doing this. Very simple. Learn 30 words a day with mnemonics and lots of repetition. Hell, try learning 100 words a day if you want. What's the worst thing that can happen? That you learn maybe 50? In any case, you'll know 1,000 words in no time. And you know what happens once you cross that 1,000 word mark? You understand 80% of the vocabulary in the language. You start thinking in the language because you've learned all those example sentences as well. So now you know all the grammar as well without having studied any rules. And you know enough vocabulary to understand the newer sentences you're learning very easily because you already understand 80 or 90% of the vocab in those sentences. Because of how vocabulary frequency works and what families work, you learn the next 1,000 sentences much more easily and the next one even more easily and so on and so forth. Fast. And if right now you're thinking, well, that YouTuber called Language Goofball said that it's unrealistic to learn more than 5 words per day, blah, 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 then it's time to stop listening to him. Or not. And you can keep giving yourself arbitrary limits and getting no results. You can keep looking for reasons why you can't get better results, or you can start doing the things that get you results. It's your decision. Do you want results or just excuses why you never made it? One thing for sure though, you can change your mindset and the results you're getting today. You can start today. Pick 30 new words, find or create example sentences with them, and learn them. Use mnemonics, read the sentences, repeat them aloud over and over again, do shadowing, and learn those 30 sentences. And do it again tomorrow, and the day after that. And review them daily, 1 minute per list. And that's basically all you need to do. So stop searching for the perfect method on YouTube and stop watching motivational videos. And above all, stop listening to people who tell you what you can and you cannot do. You want to learn a language, start learning more words faster.